Hey, this is Rob from Producer Tech, and today we're going to look at some of the innovative new features on NI's brand new MASCHINE JAM hardware, which is a new control surface to substitute or complement the existing range. The feature I'm going to look at in this tutorial is Notes mode for the touch strip bank, which allows instruments within MASCHINE to be played in pretty unique ways, with each strip being configurable for any individual notes or chords within your selected scale. So this is a great help in the creation of interesting melodies or chord progressions, which are often the hardest part of writing a track. So I've got a basic groove here. And in group C, I've got a lead sound. And if I go into keyboard mode, then the bank of pads shows the notes in my current scale across 8 octaves. And I can then use those pads to play different melodies or chords. However, if I go into Notes mode below, then the touch strips can then be used to play notes instead, with the pads then used to show and allow editing of how the strips are set up. At the moment, we're in the default guitar mode, which allows notes to be played in a strumming style. The notes on each strip are the harmonic series, which are related frequencies that are mostly fifths and octaves above the root note or fundamental at the bottom, with those root notes being the notes in the selected scale, which is a minor one at the minute. So if I wanted to create a strumming style melody based around the notes 1, 3, 5 and 4 of our scale, then it's easy to do. Or I could arpeggiate it by using multiple fingers on strips rather than sliding with one finger. And if I'm playing a monophonic sound, like the one in Group D, then I can play the same strips to create melodies which glide between notes. Going back to Group C though now, you can see if I hit the Notes button, it brings up the current settings, and I can then use the encoder to scroll between options and then press to edit them. So there are 3 different modes here. The second is chord, and this is quite similar to guitar, only instead of the whole harmonic series, we just have triads, so just 3-note 1, 3, 5 chords beginning on the root. Just like in guitar mode though, we can see the notes that are assigned to strips on the column of 8 pads above each one. So we could, for instance, remove the third, so it's just notes 1 and 5, or have an octave instead, or keep it as a triad but add a 7th note on top, and then change the other strips too if I like. What I'll do now though is switch to user mode, which is a blank template for you to customize. So what I'll do is set up the notes of my melody in the order I want them on consecutive strips. So notes 1, 3, 5, then 4. But instead of playing single notes now, I'll go to the chords option in the notes menu and set it to the sinisterly named harm mode. And then I can change the intervals or chords that are played with the last option, where we've got octaves, thirds, fifths, triads, and so on. I think I'll go for a chord with 1, 4, and 5. And now I can play my melody in chords by hitting each touch strip in ascending order. And maybe I'll add in another chord to touch strips 1 note higher in the scale, so I can add a bit more interest to the phrase. Maybe having 3 chords on the last strip. Of course, if I was feeling more adventurous, I could just assign all of the chords to one strip to play the whole phrase with that, although it'll start to get a bit cramped. that was just an intro to Notes mode, but hopefully you can see how powerful a feature it is, really opening up the possibilities for creating and performing these kinds of melodic sequences. Look out for more MASCHINE JAM tutorials soon on the Loopmasters and Producer Tech YouTube channels. See you next time.